So in the previous class, we have started with design of gantry girders. Uh, we have seen the various components of the gantry girder, and then we have seen the loads acting on the gantry girder, then the position of the moving loads for maximum effects, and we have seen the allowance for impact load for different types of cranes. So let's continue. So today we'll see the various profiles used for gantry girder. Then we'll see the deflection limits given by the code for design of gantry girder, and then we'll see the design steps. So next is profile of gantry girder. Now, the gantry girders are subjected to very heavy bending moment because of the loads from the cranes. So, we require heavy sections for resisting these bending moments, and usually I sections are preferred. So, gantry girder are subjected to heavy bending moment. So, sections, so I sections built up sections, uh, means I section with cover plates, or even plate girders. Girders can be used. Okay, so let us see the various profiles. Now, here you can see there is a ISMB I section. Here I section with cover plate. This is okay. When the bending moment are too high with the available as compared to the strength of the available road section, then we may use I section with cover plate. Here with bottom cover plate is used, and here top and bottom plates are used. I section with top and bottom cover plates. Now, in addition to the vertical load, the gantry girders are also subjected to horizontal loads and horizontal bending moments. Gantry girders are also subjected to horizontal loads means the lateral thrust and longitudinal forces. Okay. Along the compression flange, along the compression flange. So these are subjected. Additionally, they are subjected to forces in this direction as well as in longitudinal direction. So uh, this is longitudinal and this is surge force. Okay. So along the length of the rail, there is a longitudinal force, and transverse to that, there is a surge force. So we require uh, stiffening of the compression plane. So stiffening of compression plane is done by providing a channel section. Okay. You can see this channel section. By placing a channel on compression plate. Okay. So the profile of the gantry girder consists of an I section, rolled section, or a built-up section. Okay. So I section can be a rolled section or a built-up section. And additionally, it is stiffened by channel section on compression flange. So this is the profile of the gantry girder. Now let us see the deflection limits given in the code. This can be seen in table 6 IS 800 2007. So, vertical deflection for manually operated cranes. That means the hand operated cranes, the maximum deflection allowed is span by 500, that means L by 500. Second, for electrically operated cranes with crane capacity up to 500 kilonewton or 50 ton, so this is the capacity. Okay, this is the capacity of the crane. So the limit is L by 750. Electrically operated cranes over 500 kilonewton. This is the capacity. The limit is L by 1000. And the lateral deflection relative displacement between rails supporting this relative displacement between the rails, this should be less than span by 400. So these are the deflection limits given in table 6 of IS 800 2007. Now let us see the design procedure. First step is load calculation. So in this, we find the maximum bending moment. We find it
Hello, sir.
from the vertical loads.
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Sir, ये relative deflection between rails.
Your voice is not audible.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Relative displacement between rails जो है सर वो
Yes. That means we have a rail on top of the gantry girder. The section of the gantry girder is like this. We have a I section. On top, we have a channel, and on top of that, we have a rail. Okay, and over this rail, the wheels of the crane girder rest and move along this rail. Okay. So this is the section of the gantry girder. Okay, so here the wheels. This is the wheel load, crane wheel. So the relative displacement means this rail should not deflect because of the surge force. Okay, the surge force is is this is the lateral thrust. So because of this, uh, the rail has tendency to deflect laterally. Okay, like this. So, so this lateral deflection should be limited. Otherwise, the crane may slip and it can fall. So, so this lateral deflection is limited by the code, and it is given as span by 400. Okay. So in this step, we find the maximum shear force and maximum bending moment. Maximum bending moment and maximum shear force. Then we apply the impact factor. Or means allowance, consider the allowance for impact factor. Then we find the horizontal bending moment. We find the horizontal forces and bending moment due to surge. Horizontal forces means both the longitudinal force and lateral thrust. We find the bending moment due to lateral thrust. So all these are calculated in the first step, that is the load calculation. Then in the second section, we select a trial section. Selection of trial section. So the sections are chosen by a trial and error method. So we check, we perform certain checks. If they are found satisfactory, then it is okay. Otherwise, we have to revise the section. So some thumb rules are there for selecting the section. The economical depth is about span by 12. So this will help you choose a trial section. Then the compression flange width, compression flange width is kept around span by 25. So these are some thumb rules. Then next step is calculation of geometric properties of the section. Calculation of geometric properties of the chosen section, in which we find moment of inertia about ZZ axis, means about major axis. Then we find moment of inertia about YY axis, that is minor axis. Then we find the plastic section modulus. This is plastic section modulus. Okay. Then next step, we find the moment capacity of the section. And then we perform certain checks. See this design moment, this should be our moment of resistance, MR should be greater than or equal to moment. Okay. If it is satisfied, then it is okay. Then we have to perform certain checks. These are so first check is this one, check for moment capacity. This is check for moment capacity. Then we do check for buckling resistance. This is in accordance with clause 8.2.2 of IS 800 2007. Then third check is check for biaxial bending. Check for biaxial bending. Now your gantry is subjected to bending in vertical plane as well as bending in horizontal plane. Okay. So we have to perform check for biaxial bending. Then check for shear capacity. Check for web buckling. And web bearing. Then check for deflection. And finally, if all these checks are okay, if all these checks are satisfied, then we provide the detailing. That is our step 5. Design of welds. Okay. So we understand this procedure by taking an example. So let us take an example to understand the design of gantry girder. Design are simply supported gantry girder to carry an electric overhead traveling crane. Given that the span of gantry girder is 6.5 meter. The span of crane girder is 16 meter. Crane capacity is 250 kilonewton. The sulfate of crane girder this is excluding the weight of trolley. This is equal to 200 kilonewton. Then the sulfate of trolley is 50 kilonewton. Then minimum hook approach is 1 meter, and the distance between rails distance between wheels distance between wheels is 3.5 meter, and sulfate of rails is 0.3 kilonewton per meter. Okay, so this is given to you. So you have to design an electrically operated crane. So it is an electrically operated crane. So impact allowances and deflection limits has to be taken accordingly. Then the span of the gantry girder is given. So we have L. This is the span of the gantry girder. We have span of crane girder, that is LC. Span of the crane girder. Then this is the capacity, crane capacity, which is W, capital W. Here the sulfate of the crane girder is given. The so this is actually small w into LC. Okay, small w times LC. This is total load is given, and we have formulated the equation for reaction was for UDL. This UDL times LC, that is the total load of the crane girder. Then we have the sulfate of the trolley, the minimum hook approach. This is L1. Distance between the wheels is A. Okay, and let us call this as W C or W T for trolley. Okay, so these things we have. let us solve this. So first step is load calculation. So we first find the bending moment. So for moment, load for maximum moment, so that will be weight of trolley plus load lifted. This is nothing but the capacity of crane. So the capacity of the crane is 250 kilonewton. So this will be equal to weight of the trolley is 50 kilonewton and the capacity is crane capacity is 250 kilonewton. So total is 300 kilonewton. See, the weight of this crab, that is trolley, is 50 kilonewton. So this weight of this crab is 50 kilonewton. Then the capacity of the crane to lift the material it can lift this is hook. This hook has some minimum approach. This is minimum approach of the hook. And this load, this crane can lift a load up to 250 kilonewton. So this is 250 kilonewton. This is the maximum load it can lift. Maximum load crane can lift. Maximum load lifted by the crane. So the weight of the trolley plus weight of the load lifted will be 250 plus 50, that is 300 kilonewton. Then the self weight of the crane, self weight of crane girder. Now the self weight of the crane girder is given as 200 kilonewton. Means the self weight of this girder. It is given as 200 kilonewton. Now we place this load such that we get the maximum bending moment. We get the maximum reaction at the ends of the crane girder, from which we can find the maximum bending moment on the gantry girder. Span of the crane girder, which is 16 meter. This is nothing but the span of crane girder. Okay. Now it is supported here. Supported here. It is subjected to its own self weight. Okay, this self weight is here. We have been given the total load, which is W times LC equals to 200 kilonewton. This value, this is LC. Span of the crane girder. Then the weight of the trolley and the load lifted. Now assume that the trolley has moved to the distance of minimum hook approach distance. So this is the minimum hook approach distance. This we call this as L1, which is equal to 1 meter. This is nothing but the hook approach, minimum hook approach. Okay, and this is 300 kilonewton. Note that when these trolley is at a distance of minimum hook approach from the support, it will give maximum reaction here. Okay, so we place the trolley as close to the support as possible, which is the minimum hook approach distance. So we'll get the maximum reaction. Let this be A and this be B, and the reaction at A, B are A, and reaction at B, B are B. We are interested in reaction at A because we have set maximum reaction at A. So the maximum reaction at A will be equal to RA is equal to, this is 200 total load, so it will be 200 by 2 plus, because of this load, it will be 300 into 15 by 16. So this will give you 100 plus, how much is this value? Can someone calculate this value? 200 by
381.25.
how much?
381.25.
381.25. So this is the reaction at A. Okay, we are interested in maximum reaction, so no need to find the reaction at B. This is the maximum reaction. Okay, see what we have done, we have applied the principle of superposition. We have a central point load W, so the reaction due to this will be W by 2, plus we have applied, this is, let's say this A, this is B, so this will be, this reaction will be W B by, where L is the span length, WB by L, and this reaction will be WA by L. Okay, so we are summing these two reactions here. Now, in case if you have been given the per meter weight of the girder, crane girder, then you have to take this reaction accordingly. So now you have the reaction. So from this reaction you can find the wheel load. So load on gantry girder from each wheel load it will be half of this 381.25 divided by 2. How much is this? It will be 190 plus 0.625, 190.625. let us say 190.63. Okay, so what it means that the maximum, the reaction occurred here will be this will be 190.63 kilonewton, 190.63 kilonewton. Okay, the total reaction was 381.25, and this will be equally distributed among the two wheels supported by the gantry girder. Okay, so this is 190.63. This is the wheel load. Crane wheel load. Next, for finding the maximum bending moment, we place the CG of the train. Means we have two wheel loads now. So CG of this train such that the distance from the nearest load and the CG of the train load uh, are at equal distance from the center of the beam, span of the beam, half midway of the span of the beam. So maximum bending moment or position for maximum bending moment, position of wheel load position of train wheel load for maximum bending moment on gantry girder. Bending moment in gantry girder. So now we have found the reaction. This is the span of the crane girder. This is 16 meter, which is LC, and this is the span of the gantry girder, which is L, and that is given as 6.5 meter. So this distance is 6.5 meter. Okay. So now we have this reaction. Now we place the this uh, this trolley, these wheel loads, these wheel loads. This is one wheel load. This is another wheel load, such that this is the CG of the wheel load, and this is the center of the beam. So these are at equal distance. Okay, this distance we know. This is A. This is A. Okay. So this distance this should be A by 4, A by 4, and this should be A by 2. Okay, this is L by 2, this is L by 2. Now this position of this wheel loads will give you maximum bending moment. This is for maximum bending moment. For maximum bending moment. Okay, so for this position of the wheel load will give you maximum bending moment under this point load. Okay, under this point load. Okay, and the value of the load is 190.63 kilonewton. 190.63 kilonewton. So let us draw it again. The span of grain girder, gantry girder, sorry. L equals to 6.5 meter. This is the span of gantry girder. Okay, let us say this is the halfway mid span. So this will be this distance will be L by 2, that will be 3.25 meter from here, and L by 2, that is 3.25 meter. Okay, now we place the wheel load such that this is one wheel load. This will be the CG of the wheel load, and this will be the second wheel load. Okay. The value of this is 190.63 kilonewton. 190.63 kilonewton. This is the CG of wheel loads. Okay, so now the distance between the wheel loads is given as 3.5 meter. So this distance is 3.5 meter. This is equal to 3.5 meter. So this total distance is 3.5 meter. 6.5 meter, which is nothing but A. This will be 3.5 by 2, that will be 1.75, and these distances will be half of this 1.75, that will be 0.875, 0.875. Okay. Now the maximum bending moment under this point load will occur under this point load. So let us say this is A, this is B, the center BC, the center point B, C point. This wheel load is at D and this B at E. So maximum bending moment will be at E. So let us first find the reactions at any of at any end. So let us find the reaction at B, RB. So this RP will be equal to this point load 190.63 into this distance. This distance will be 3.25 plus this distance 0.875. Okay, divided by the span length, that is 6.5. This is from the wheel load at E. Similarly, from wheel load at D, it will be 190.63 into this distance. Okay, so this distance will be equal to 3.25 minus, or you can add this plus 0.875 minus 3.5. Okay, so this will give you 3.25 plus 0.875 minus 3.5 divided by 6.5. Okay, so this is the distance of this wheel load from the support A. Okay, so this reaction will be, just verify this value, 209 kilonewton. So this reaction is 209 kilonewton. Okay, now we can find the bending moment at E. So therefore bending moment at E will be equal to 209 into this distance. This distance will be equal to 3.25 minus 0.875. Okay, so 209 multiplied by 3.25 minus 0.875. So this bending moment will be 496.375 kilonewton meter. So this is the maximum bending moment. Maximum bending moment. Okay. This value. Okay. So let us stop here, and in the next class we'll continue this. We'll apply the impact factor to this bending moment, and then we'll find the maximum shear force for the position of the frame load, which gives the maximum shear force in the gantry girder. That will continue in the next class. If you have any doubt, we can discuss now.